so once you have the frame made and assembled and tightened, and you've got all the weights on, so you have 8 spider weights and 8 on each side, so it's 16 total of the top weights. Now you're ready to assemble what we call the tube and the tube frame, and so that's what this is. It's already assembled and it's already together. So how you're going to attach it to here is, you can see there's a little slot or divot right here, and that's going to go on this bottom bolt right here. You just basically slide it in like that, and then put it all the way forward. If you find that it's tight or something like that, don't force it. It should go in easily. And I have two ways that you can attach it. So I have, it's basically just a bolt that I had a hole put in, and then this is just a hairpin that you have that you can attach it to. So you just put the bolt in here. Again, you want to push this forward to line it up. Push it in, and then on here, you want to make sure that you have the flat side go in, like that. If you try to go the other way on here, where it's crooked like that, it won't work. So again, you want to use the flat end to go through the hole, like that. So it's basically just like this. I find that sometimes people don't quite understand that concept, and so I have gone to another kind of pin. It's a clip pin kind of thing, so you basically just pull out here, and then it's like that. And this I find is a lot easier for people to deal with, so this is what I usually would use. So again, you just push this a little forward, put it in a line, you push it through, and then you just do the top clip like that, and then it's secured. So now this is not going to come off at all. It's secured in there. And then now you want to just do all 8 of them like that. So then once you have all 8 of them on the spider and secured, you're ready to, what I consider kind of like caulking them. And so the way you want to do that is, so actually, so this right here is like an internal collar, and it's just spring loaded. So these 2 tabs here on either side, if you just pull them out, you can kind of free them, and they can travel up the internal post here, and they can go down when you pull them out again and release them. So what happens is, when the multi-core is actually going down, this whole internal part here is free to kind of travel up and down, according to, like, if you get any wave surge or anything like that. So what happens is this collar is going to release this pin here, like that, when it goes up, and then that will kind of cause the feet and all to go down. But let's go back to how to actually assemble this. So what you want to do when you have it like this is, you can take the springs off here, which is easier, and then you're going to gently pull this up, and here I'm going to, with my finger, lift this up. And you want to make sure that this loop right here gets tucked in on this part of the tab here, like that. So it's secured now. So now you want to make sure to reattach the springs if you took them off. And then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to pull this down. You need to pull this down completely straight. If you have it cocked at an angle, it won't come down and you're gonna start damaging this piece right here. It's hard plastic, it's pretty durable, but it will bend. So you need to be careful, and over time it does get brittle with the salt water and everything like that, so you need to be careful. So if you pull completely straight down, past that point, now you can pivot this foot toward you, up around, and you can hook it on the hook here on this wheel. There's a divot in here where this wire fits, and just like that. So now it's ready, when you do all 8 of them, it's ready to go down and to do settlements. So one last step, once I've gotten maybe all of them 8 cocked, I like to use tape. It's a Scotch Super 88, and this happens to be a 2-inch width tape. I like to use the wider tape as opposed to the 33 because I don't have to use as much. And so what you're going to use this tape for is I'm going to actually take, these are butterfly clips. So these right here, you can actually take off. I mean, you can undo. And that will release this tube inside. So when you go to sample it, you can take these off if you need to. But I like to, as a safety precaution, I like to actually tape these butterfly clips because, again, when you're going down, say, 1,000 meters or 2,000 meters, these can, over time, they get old and used, and they can rattle and they can come undone, and then you're going to lose the tube and the ring inside. So you don't want to do that. Then you'll lose your sample. So I'm basically going to just I get it kind of started like this, and I just kind of tape it around the back here, and I don't want to tape here. I want to go underneath this part here and kind of go like on the ring is what I do, and I want to make sure that I'm getting the top part of this and not just the bottom. I want to get the top part because if I just do the bottom, this can still come undone. So I kind of make sure to go up and around the top. I go back around the back, and again on top here on this side over here. So that right there is good enough. It's just basically to keep the tabs from coming undone. So you can just cut it, and then I make sure just to get like that. So now to me, once I've done all the other 7 like this is ready for deployment, ready to go. So now I'm going to show you how to actually dismantle and put this together. Let's do it on here. So what I'm going to do is have it on here. It's a little easier to get this off. I'm just again going to pull straight down. Like that. And if you have this still hooked here, you can undo it. And then I'm going to just hold this foot up open and kind of just gently take this off the spider. So now it's kind of in this orientation. So now I can take the springs off of both sides, and I'm going to undo both of the clips on both sides. Okay, and you can turn the ring here a little bit because otherwise sometimes the clips go back on here. And so now the tube is basically free from the frame. And so I can just lift up like this. So you want to be careful not to bang this down on the ground. They are durable, but they will, again, over time will break. So now these are 2 pieces, okay? So the problem is that okay, so for the tube, as you can see, it has this plastic band here, like a ring, and that is what the ring is going in the tube. So the ring itself is going to go in this orientation. I don't know if you can see or not, but there are little divots here on this side, and the divots go down, go to the bottom of the tube, face downward. I don't know if you can see in here either, but the top part is beveled on the inside, and so when you put the lid, this is like a silicone tab thing here, that actually when it fits in here, it actually causes a vacuum. So when you get sediment in here and the top is on securely, it creates a vacuum so you won't lose your sediment. On here, so the top needs to be, the beveled part needs to be on the inside so that the tab fits in there properly. The bottom part is beveled on the outside because it's a cutting edge. And so this is when you go down, it's going to actually start cutting the sediment as you go down, as the tube goes into the sediment. And then the top will come down on here and create a vacuum, and so when you pull it out, you won't lose your sediment. So again, the ring, the beveled part here, the little indentation is going to go downward. So I'm just going to put it in like this. Like that. So the divot, the little divot here is downward. This is the bottom, and that's how you want it. So now if it's in like this, if you've had to take the tube out and you've cleaned this and everything like that, now you want to get the tube back in, I just find it's easier just to kind of come back over to the spider, or if you have a frame somewhere, you can just put it on that. But again, you want to pull this completely straight down, and then you can pivot it, and then I take this off. Unfortunately, you cannot do that while it's on here because of the distance. It doesn't allow you the distance that you need to get the tube on when it's on the spider. So again, I want to make sure that the beveled inside is the top. So it's going to go into the frame this way, because the top is where where this is. So you want to just kind of get your fingers out of the way, make sure that the springs aren't in there. Everything out of the way, and everything's set. Now I can go ahead and I can do my clips here. Up. And I can actually, at this point, I can go ahead and flip this down. And I can actually put it on the spider now since I've got the tube inside of the frame. It kind of makes it a little easier to do it when it's on here now at this point. Again, you want to make sure to put your clip back in. And I find that if I don't put the thing all the way through, it's just easier sometimes to do it, to clip this on, and then like that. So then you want to make sure you put both the springs back on. You want to make sure that this tab is done as well. Okay, so now if I want to cock it like this one and get it ready to go, I would take the wire, push that up, put that in, make sure it's down. You need to get a little tug on it, make sure it's secure. Springs are on, are attached. Careful of your eye on this hook. I'm going to all the way down, straight. Then I can cock it. Then I can bring it forward on the hook of the wire onto this wheel. You can see there's a divot in there, there's a groove. And that's what it sits in. And then I would go ahead and I would tape this as well. And then I would just go ahead and do the last 6 the same way. So when you come back from deployment, You're going to get it in this orientation. Hopefully it'll have great sediment in here. Poor water, if that's what you're interested in as well, won't be disturbed. So you're going to have it in this orientation. So and the collar will be up like this, and you'll have these tabs will all be up because when the internal part, the spider went down to actually do the collection on the way up, this comes with it, and it's going to cause all these to open, and then that's when you collect your sample. That's when this assembly will be done. So you're going to come up and it's going to be like that. All of these will be closed. Hopefully you'll have full, samples and sediment in here. And so what you're going to need to do then is you just, again, these are spring loaded. There's just a divot in here that it gets caught in. You want to just pull it outward toward you, and then you can just let it go down, and then these will go down. And if not, if they get stuck, whatever, you can just push it. They should go down pretty easily. So then again, you're just going to want to take the pin off. I usually put it here just temporarily. I don't leave them here the whole time. I usually will, once I get this off, so you want to hold it from down here, and you want to hold it down here, and you want to, when you take these off, again, if you just go straight up, that's the easiest way, and I hold it and support it because you don't want it to be tipping or anything like that, because if you've got water in here, you might be disturbing the core top of the sediment, and that's usually not a very good thing for the science or research. So I just make sure I pull it up really straight, and a lot of times it's good to have somebody on the outside here to hand it off to. So once I've got that out of there, then I will go ahead and I will put this cap on here so I don't lose it. And that way, if I don't know who's going to be doing it, but then I know when I come back that I can find it and it's not in somebody's pocket or something like that. So I make sure to put it back on here and secure it too. Don't just leave it like that, undone, because if you're in rough weather or something like that, you might lose them. So that's how this works.